Hey, y'all. My name's Bryant Young.
And Derek Chaney.
Here with the Decent Dads Podcast. Brand new episode this week.
That's right. Another fabulous guest that we had on, Weston Kissee.
Yeah, one of our longtime friends, premier dad of 3 boys.
That's right. Been dadding a little bit longer than we have, so he had plenty of good stories for us.
And also has been in our community for longer than my family, which is something I love to brag about, and now I've been bested. So be really excited about that for Weston.
That is a really cool story that he brought up.
Yeah,
about,
it is.
You know, how he's living where his family lived for generations before him.
7. Spoiler alert. It's 7 generations.
And his kids are doing the same things that he was doing in the same places that he was doing those things when he was
It's a cool story.
a little kid.
It's really, really cool. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. So I think we just jump right into it, dude.
Let's do it.
All right. Decent Dads Podcast. Here we go. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Decent Dads Podcast. We're here to tell dad jokes, drink coffee, and build a community of dads navigating fatherhood together. I'm Bryant Young, fearless leader, co-host, girl dad, and your friendly local insurance agent based out of Springfield, Missouri. And now, before we get started on today's episode, please help me welcome, he's a 6'3" senior shooting guard from small town Missouri. He wishes he was a first-team All-American, but instead, he's the coolest co-host with the most, a fantastic father of 2 and the home loan expert. Folks, put your hands together and welcome the incomparable Mr. Derek Chaney. How are you, Derek?
Good, man. Like the last 3 episodes, I went from, junior to sophomore to now senior.
Yeah,
so.
it's about time you grew up a little bit.
I know. Quit failing those
You
classes.
big child.
I'll get up there. But no, it's it's a good day for a good day.
It's
boys.
a good day.
Got hoppy coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Another fabulous guest. I'm excited for this guest.
Me too.
We've known Weston for a little while now.
Yeah.
I mean,
hot minute, right?
Yeah. More than a decade.
Originally back in the Rotaract days, or at least for me, that's when I originally met you, Weston.
Both of you, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was pre-kids, I know. At least,
For sure.
Yeah.
BC, I like to say.
Yeah,
BC.
exactly.
Children.
That's
great.
great.
Exactly right.
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we were friends BC.
And then
That's
there's
exactly
AD.
right.
I don't know if that's after death or what.
After dementia.
There you go. Yeah. That's relatable. But yeah. So I mean, needless to say, we've known you for a little while.
Oh yeah,
Weston. Some people might not know you. So if you will tell us, who you are, what you do, give us your dad resume, tell us how many kids you got, what are their ages, and which one's your favorite.
Yeah, happy to. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to this. Love connecting with dads, and really looking forward to it. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
So, Weston Kissee, born and raised here in Springfield my whole life. Probably like 8th generation Springfieldian or something.
I want to talk
that.
about this because I like to brag about that, but Weston kicks my butt in that regard. So I want to talk about that.
I can't. I've lost track of the generations, but but born and raised here in Springfield. Went to school here at Drury, and Caitlin, my wife, we've been married now. This will be 13 years, and
nice.
3 kids. So Topher is 7.
Yep.
Crawford is 3. And Arlo is 11 months. He'll be 1 in just a few weeks. He had his 1-year-old pictures today. So
Nice.
3 boys.
3 boys.
Yeah.
So
How'd pictures go?
I think really well.
Good.
He's very photogenic. It's funny.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So taking after his mom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not so much our guest today.
Right,
We love you, buddy.
Exactly right.
So you guys plans for any more? Or are you stopping at 3?
We're done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to have more if we had like 3 full-time nannies, but
Right?
we love kids. We love having kids, but my goodness, they're a lot of work. And
Yeah, man.
having kids, it's got to be the most selfless thing anybody can do, really.
Oh,
Preach.
right. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Accurate. Truer words were never spoken. Well, with 3 kids, you're going to be dealing with tantrums, inevitably, whether your kids are, 7, 17, or 11 months old. What kind of tantrums are you dealing with right now? You mentioned before we turned on the cameras that you had one like this week. So this will be perfect
Couple
timing
hours
for
ago,
you.
actually.
Yeah, literally on Saturday, all 3 of them threw a tantrum.
Oh, no. At the
Um,
same time?
Triple trouble.
Mostly not at the same time,
Okay.
thankfully. The baby, okay, he's got to pass. Like,
Right.
When you've
For
got
sure.
a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, like the baby is the easiest one. Honestly, let's face it.
That's hilarious
Sure.
how that works,
Yeah.
right?
So we'll give the baby a pass. But on Saturday, so we were in Bentonville, Arkansas for Mother's Day. Caitlin
Nice.
wanted to go down there, and we wanted to spend some time together with the family. And I've got this vision of our family becoming like a biking family and mountain biking and getting
Okay.
outside. But the kids, they've got to get comfortable riding a bike before you can become a biking family, right?
Sure.
Yep.
So we've been practicing. Tover, the 7-year-old, he's dominating it. He's on a
Okay.
bike, no training wheels, doing great. And Crawford's coming on strong. He's on a balance bike, so no pedals.
Right.
But he's already really good at balancing.
Sweet.
So I'm thinking, all right, we're in a good spot. We're going to go to Bentonville. We're going to do a little warm up. Then we're going to hit some mountain bike trails.
Oh, gosh.
You know, they've got them like a ski park. They've got greens, blues, and reds
Right.
or
Yeah.
blacks, I guess. And I was like, all right, let's find a nice green. Let's go through town. Well, the first time we go out, I'm walking, and Crawford literally would rather walk than ride his bike. So I end up carrying the bike while he throws a tantrum, and literally 100 yards from the house, he stops and gets off his bike. What are you doing, buddy? I don't want to ride my bike. And he just starts wailing about riding this bike. So here I am carrying his bike now, dragging him along. Like, come on, buddy, we're gonna go have fun.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
Because I'm not having any right now.
So, needless to say, walked a lot and went back to the house and regrouped. So we threw Crawford in the trailer behind the bike.
Yeah, there
Now
you
I'm
go.
on a bike. And
You're
all right,
resourceful.
Topher, we're going to get you out there. You're going to get on a trail and you're going to dominate it. And I guess he was getting hangry or tired or something. We see the splash pad in downtown Bentonville.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants in that splash pad.
Bad.
It's like 90 degrees, high humidity.
Sure.
He
Perfect
just
for the splash pad.
but of course, he's already got it on his Mother's Day brunch outfit.
Oh, no.
So sorry, bud, no splash pad. But look at that cool mountain bike trail right there. Throws an epic tantrum.
Sure.
Literally running toward the fountains, and I'm like, buddy, we've wanted to do this. Just come on, let's do the mountain bike trail. It's so cool.
Please.
Just epic tantrum. Literally just.
So rolling on the floor, like beating our hands on the ground kind of deal?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yelling,
Oh, yeah.
screaming. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's real.
Oh, man.
So, and his kids are older, so I just know it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
doesn't stop.
It just makes me think, like, I mean, you had that picture in your head of what the trip was going to be like before
So
you got
accurate.
down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once kids get involved, just toss that picture out the window because
Exactly.
it's not going to go as planned.
We were so close. It's like,
Right.
come on, mountain biking. It's going to be awesome, boys.
Right.
And just
Yep.
meltdown.
Yep.
Exactly.
It
What about you,
happens.
DC? What are you dealing with?
Well, it's funny that you talked about a tantrum on kind of your Mother's Day celebration because we went up to St. Louis on Saturday because that's what Allie wanted to do for Mother's Day. She's like, hey, I want to take the boys to the zoo up there and just spend all day with, you guys up there at the zoo. The boys will love it. I'll love it. So I'm like, okay.
Perfect.
And so this was 3 days after I got my cast off of my ankle. And I'm like, you know what? Well, one, I was wanting to walk anyways because I've been pretty
Sure.
stir crazy. And
Try to get off that scooter.
Right.
No more wheeling around.
like that was a
Lieutenant
bad
Dan.
mistake not bringing that into the zoo. But I was like, I'm just going to man up, suck it up, and do it. And I was like, Allie really wants to do it anyways. It's Mother's Day. We're going to celebrate her, have a good time.
Sure.
Who cares if I walk 3 miles? It's
Right.
fine.
Yeah,
Right.
this is for mom. This is mom's
Yeah,
day.
yeah, and so we'd been in there about an hour, and my legs starting to hurt me a little bit, but I'm like,
The dogs were
I'm
barking.
like, it's okay. And Liam wants to ride the train, so we rode the train when we first got there, and I was like, this is perfect. Just give me a little bit of a break. But then we walked around the zoo, and then before we're leaving, he wants to ride the train one more time, and I'm like, okay. And Allie's like, she really wants to do it too, so I'm like, okay. I'm like, we'll do this. Well, none of the boys had a meltdown. This was my dad tantrum.
Yes.
I was gonna say, is
Yeah.
this gonna be a
Yeah,
kid tantrum? or-
yeah. So
I love the dad tantrum.
So we're walking towards the exit, right? And I don't know if you guys have been up there to the St. Louis Zoo, but they have like
been a
multiple
while.
train stations, right,
Sure.
where you can hop on at different spots, right? And so there's one right there by the exit, and we're like, you know what? We'll hop on here, do the full lap, hop off, get out of here, okay? And we hop on the train, we make it through one station, and then we go to the next one, and they're like, we are at an all stop because there is lightning in the area.
Oh, crap.
We are the farthest point from our exit in the zoo right now.
Oh no!
And not only that, we have to go back to the station we hopped on at, get our wagon, and then go to the exit. So we can't even take like the fastest exit to the exit there. And I'm just like, I was full Karen mode at this point. 'Cause like I said, my ankle's hurting, and I'm like just mumbling under my breath, like, so not mad at Allie or the boys or anything, just super ticked off about the situation.
Sure.
And of course I'm slow at this point, so Allie, she knows like I'm hurting stuff, so she's trying to like grab the boys and hurry up and get to the wagon and stuff. And then Liam looks back at me, and he's like, "Dad, why are you walking alone?" He comes up running to me. He's like, "I'll walk with you," and I'm just like, and then it kind of clicks, like, quit being so self-obsessed and pissed off about the situation, and just enjoy the moment. You know,
suck it up, Dad.
Suck it up, right? But yeah, I definitely had a hardcore dad tantrum on Saturday.
I hate that for you, man.
I had to tattle on myself. I was like,
that's all right.
The boys didn't even throw a good enough one for me to share. Not that bad, anyways. So
well, I got one that'll make up for your boys.
All right, let's hear it.
So, Elsie, we just got Elsie into candy. She's almost 2.
Uh-oh.
We've tried to avoid the candy as much as possible, but like we go to the doctor, we do a good job at the doctor. They've got those like they're like organic fruit juice, but they're lollipops.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're suckers.
We've got lots of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so Else is finally like she's been introduced to suckers, and so now of course that's all we want to talk about. Sucker?
Yeah. Sucker for dinner?
Exactly. And so I've caved and bought some, and I have some upstairs, and she was being a good kid, and so I gave her a sucker. And so we're just kind of wandering around the house, and she's got the little stick poking out of her mouth, and she's just happy as a clam. And she follows me into the bathroom, and I'm taking a leak. I flush, I turn around, I don't think about it, the seat doesn't go down. So I'm washing my hands, and I turn back, and Elsie's got her sucker stuck down in the toilet.
Oh no.
And I, of course, immediately because I've just peed in there, dude.
Right.
Like it was, like the water hasn't even stopped spinning yet, and she's got her sucker in the toilet. And so I'm like diving, and she's pulling it out to go back to her mouth in slow motion. I'm jumping across the bathroom. No.
Right.
And I take it from her because I'm not gonna. Sorry, we're just not playing this game. It's clean water. I don't care. We're not doing
Pee
it.
is sterile.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. It's sterile, and I like the taste. So yeah, no, we're not playing this game. And so of course I take it from her. Well, that doesn't go over at all. So for a good 5 minutes, because she's in that mode of I can't quite communicate my feelings because she's just right on the edge. Like she's got some sentences, but she's still working out sentences. And especially when the emotions get heightened, everything comes crashing down. And so there's no communication, there's no nothing. She's just screaming her brains out. And so she's just sitting on the floor, cannot process how pissed she is. And sucker! And just screaming her brains out. And I finally had to go get her another one and hand it to her. Wrong color.
Of course. No. Come on, Dad. You didn't know which color.
And I didn't remember what the other one was because I had thrown it in the trash can and it had fallen to the bottom, and I didn't want to go digging through a trash can. So I'm is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? I'm pretty sure we went through all the colors like 4 different times before we found one that we were okay with. But yeah, I had to stop Elsie from sticking a pea sucker back in her mouth, and she didn't like that. Go figure.
Right. Gosh, man, that's funny that you brought up candy there, because that leads perfectly into my dad hack.
Does it really?
So yeah, Weston,
I love it when a plan comes together.
Right? Yeah.
Nice.
That's another thing that we ask all of our guests is, your best dad hack, dad advice. So
Dad hack alert!
I'll lead off with this one. So tonight was the last night that we have like soccer, and 15 minutes later we got swim lessons, right? And so we've noted we've had this 3 weeks in a row, and we've noticed.
You're gonna do that ever again? You gonna schedule those ever again like that?
It was
a terrible idea.
It was bad, bad decision on our part, because once swim lesson rolls around, Liam being a 3-year-old, he's tired, right?
Sure.
And he even made the comment on the way to swim lessons tonight. He was being completely quiet, and he's like, "I'm tired." And me and Allie just kind of look at each other. We're like, "Uh-oh."
Swimming's gonna suck.
Here it comes, right? And so it was a rough day at swim lessons. Like, he didn't want to do anything. Had a couple minor tantrums there, and we were talking to the parents right beside us. and who their little girl just happens to be best friends with Liam, and they were like, they're like, Sophia, she was really tired today too, but you know what we did? It's like, what? We gave her Kit Kat on the way here, so she gets a
sugar high.
Gets a sugar high and gets all hyped up, and now she's bouncing off the walls and she can't stop swimming. So I don't know if either one of you guys have implemented like the sugar in a good way there.
No, not yet, but I do like this
I was
idea.
like, I don't know why that had never crossed my mind, but I was like, that is so simple.
I mean, you
and
can't give
genius
him
at the
Red
same
Bull yet, so I mean, a piece of candy will do it.
But like Liam loves gummies, and I'm just like, shoot, we'll just give him some gummies before swim lessons next time, and he'll be good to go.
I love that.
High on energy for a good 30 minutes to an hour
I love
there.
that.
And then he crashes when he gets home when it's bedtime anyway.
Perfect. So let's go to sleep.
There you go.
Similar to that, I don't know if I've resorted specifically to the sugar, but so many times that my boys are angry, it's because they're hungry, or their blood sugar's
right?
low,
Yeah.
or they got up and breakfast isn't quite ready yet. It's a lazy Saturday.
Yeah.
Just pump those kids full of something.
Yeah.
So pouches work great. I'm sure candy would work well too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. We've really noticed that with our younger one. He gets hangry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like angry. Yeah. And you just give him, like you said, like a pouch of applesauce or something.
Yep.
He's good to go.
Well, that's our go-to remedy for just about everything. So I do like that a lot, Weston. What about that's one dad hack. I'm assuming you have another one. What else do you have? Anything? You like?
So best dad hack I've got is, my two oldest boys, they're old enough to be able to do some chores around the house.
Sure.
Well, how do you motivate them to do chores? That's hard, right?
Other than candy, like we've been talking about.
Right?
Candy can work, but again, at some point, their teeth matter. So you can't just...
We had a dentist on a few weeks ago. He taught us how to teach your kids to brush your teeth. They'll be fine.
Perfect. Well, my boys love competition.
Oh.
So we pull out the old stopwatch. We make it a race. Who can get their jammies on faster?
Oh, yeah.
Or on
Okay.
trash night, I got them to gather up all the trash, and it's a competition of how fast they can go, who can get it
Yeah.
first. Inevitably, one of them ends up crying, but they get the chores done. So
Right.
make the chores a competition, especially if you've got boys.
Yeah. I really like that.
Man, I'll utilize that. And you're building that competitive spirit.
That's right.
already.
Don't hate that. Yeah,
Man.
teach them how to do it.
I like
Well, that's in an effort. I'm also my dad hack is kind of in the vein of like trying to get your kids to do something by tricking them into doing it. This one was
Deceit. You just
lies and deceit, but
Lies
like
and
white
deceit
lies.
early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. This one I saw, and it's something that I kind of do with Elsie already, but then I saw it demonstrated on the internet, and they did it slightly differently, and I kind of like their version better, so I'm stealing it. Make picking up a game.
Yes.
So you're
Do you
talking
know the
about
cleanup
picking up
song?
trash? Oh yeah. It's
Yep.
yeah.
Put that thing on repeat.
Oh yeah, baby. I like this. Clean
Sorry to
up,
interrupt.
Clean up. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yep.
But so same thought process with Elsie. It's how fast can we pick up? Let's go. Or you give her a pair of tongs, like from the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Go pick up all because we've got little like fabric koosh ball kind of looking things, but they're little like fuzzy things that she can play with, and she's got little tongs. So you give her a big pair of tongs. Okay, go pick everything up, and she goes and starts picking everything up and putting it back where it's supposed to go. Or she's picking up her stuffed animals with the long handled tong and putting them back in the little tent where they all live upstairs.
And she's 2?
Yeah.
Almost 3.
Yeah, we're getting close.
That's talent.
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll have a little better hand-eye than her dad does.
She's almost 2.
Almost 2. Yeah.
Wow.
So hopefully she'll have a little better hand-eye than I do by doing all the pinch your toy stuff, or like giving her a bucket and telling her to fill up the bucket. And then I just take the bucket from her and dump all the stuff where it's supposed to go, and then hand it back to her. Okay, let's do it again. And just
Perfect.
Just making a game out of picking up, because
Yeah.
we've also got the little bucket of toys attached to the side of the tub
Yes.
at bath time. And inevitably, like once a week, she wants to get every single one out of the tub, and then it's all just full out of the basket and into the tub. And at the end of it, it's like, I don't really want to pick all this up. All right, Elsie, pick up time. And then I just start tossing the little toys up in the air.
Yeah.
And then she thinks it's hilarious, and so then she's trying to throw them into the corner, whipping them from across the tub. But who cares? It's ended up in the thing, so we're going to get it done. But
That's right.
Yeah.
lies and deceit to teach your kids to pick stuff up, or at least not have to make it a fight.
Yeah.
So, can I ask a question?
Please.
How often do you guys bathe your children?
It's a good question. We are an every single night family.
Ugh.
However, it's not like we're not doing soap every single
child
night.
life.
Yeah,
No,
first child.
And I think that's actually what it is. I'm so locked in because Elsie slept like crap for so long. I'm so locked into the ritual.
Yes,
I'm
the ritual is
so locked
important.
into the habit of bedtime, and so we're almost like it's almost clinical in the way that we decide it's bath time, and then it's pajama, or then it's lotion, and then it's pajamas, and then it's blanket, and then it's rock with mom, and it's books, and it's all very specific order. So it's every single night, but we don't actually like do soap and shampoo and stuff every single night.
Yeah.
But I'm also worried that it's dehydrating the kid.
Yeah.
You guys, it's and I understand it's the single kid thing.
Yeah,
so.
it just depends on ours. Like I said, tonight, swim lessons, and
Sure. It's water.
You know, so
Chlorine kills
Chlorine
that
kills
stuff.
all
but,
that.
but Brody is a sweat ball. I'm not
Oh, is
kidding
he?
you.
Ah,
Like he's
that's
sitting
funny.
there on my lap, and the back of his head is just dripping wet, like he was in the pool. And it's like, dude, you got to get a bath tonight too. And like I said, Liam had soccer before that, and it had rained, the past 2-3 days,
Sure.
so it's muddy. So he's
caked.
He's got mud on his elbows, his knees, everywhere. So yeah, I mean, if they obviously get dirty, we'll give them a bath that night. But if they stay pretty clean, I mean, it's every 2 to 3 nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your plan on that?
Caitlin heard from Dak Shepard and Kristen Bell that they literally, I don't know. I mean, they 3 times a month? Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Not
Really?
very often. We're not that extreme.
Sure.
But basically, we just wait till they're dirty. Like, if
Yeah.
they start to smell
That's why I was
or
gonna
have
ask.
visual dirt,
Yeah, I don't hate that thought process.
then
That makes
they get a
sense.
bath. And it's not because we're copping out, but honestly, you think about it, like, there's some benefit of playing in dirt.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so
Sure. Yeah.
keeping some of that on their body and just building up that immunity, hopefully. So in the winter, when they're not getting as dirty, it
Right.
might only be once a week.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
But now getting outside, I mean, it is a little more
and
frequent.
you're being little sweaty kids or those kinds of things, getting into the mud pies or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's funny to hear you say that though, Weston, because I do, especially like you don't take a shower unless you're dirty, and it's kind of like that's how we are with Elsie, where it's like we're not going to do the full shampoo thing, but
Yeah.
also I'm worried about like her getting really dried out skin
Yes.
and all of that, and so. Liv and I have started like literally. It's funny you asked that because we've started having that conversation like last week. Like, do we cut back on bath time? That's like Dad's designated time every night, and so I don't want to give it up. But also like I don't want to mess her skin up. So
Right.
Well, actually, we got some advice from a dermatologist that if you, some of our boys have eczema issues, and so the drier the skin, the worse the eczema is.
yes,
But we got advice that give him that bath every night, but get the lotion on right after.
Sure.
Because he'll
Okay.
absorb some of that water, and then as long as you
Lock
don't let
it
it
in.
dry out,
yeah.
put that lotion on, and that actually helps the eczema to keep it moist.
That makes sense.
That's good because our little guy, like, that's why we didn't give him as many baths because he has the eczema bad, and we noticed it after bath time.
Oh yeah, we've got the crazy like heavy duty Vanny cream. I
Right,
mean stuff
yeah.
that looks like spackle.
Right?
to
Yeah,
put
it's
on,
like
and
so thick.
Yeah, it's
And I
heavy
feel like
duty.
none of us had that growing up.
Right?
Like,
not at all.
Yeah, I don't remember.
what is in the water?
we had oatmeal baths.
Yeah.
Like if you ever
Yeah.
had some kind of bad skin,
chicken pox.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It was just an oatmeal bath, and that's what the parents gave. And then all of a sudden, your skin feels like butter, and it's
Which,
fine.
when we were growing up, you just everyone wanted the chicken pox.
And it
Like,
wasn't. You don't take your kids to school. You say, "Hey, can my kid come over and get the chicken pox
yes,
so we can get
you
this
have
crap
parties,
over?
on?"
chicken pox parties. Like
So we can just get this crap over with and move on."
how things have changed. But
Right.
now, what is it? What does chicken pox lead to later in life? Now
Staph.
No. We're all gonna have
It's shingles. isn't it?
shingles.
Oh, that's what it is.
We're all gonna have
Thank you.
shingles when we're older now. But I actually had shingles in college.
Did you really?
It sucked.
Did you take a shower once a month, like you're talking about? Or?
That was for the kids, not for me. I'm a once a day shower. But I'm a night shower. Is that weird?
Oh, you're one of those people, huh?
Is that weird?
So you just take your bed to work with you every morning, huh?
Well, my thought is if you go to bed clean and your bed is clean, you're going to wake up clean.
I don't need to hear your logic. I don't need you to make
point.
sense.
And I'm not a sweater. I'm not a night sweater.
Oh, well, that-
And we've got an Uller chili cube thing. Have you heard of these?
I
No,
do not know
what
what
is
this is.
that?
but I
Oh
wanna
my
know- I want
gosh.
to know so much more.
It goes under your.
I am a sweater.
It goes under. Oh my gosh.
Duh, come on, I'm covered in fur.
You're going to order it after this as soon as we're done. So it's this pad that goes under your sheet, and it hooks up to a unit, and it pumps water through, and you set the temperature from like
Really?
90 degrees down to like 55 degrees.
Ooh, I would like this a lot.
So you can set that puppy on 55 degrees, and in
Excuse
the
me,
middle
I'm gonna
of
go to
summer,
Amazon real quick.
you're going to want that comforter on.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we found that like a lot of CEOs use it, and like Fortune 500 CEOs that have to like get a really good night's sleep.
Yeah.
So like they do this because you're cold. You can put the covers on, and oh my god,
It's all about the comfort.
We love our bed so much because of that now we don't sleep as well anytime we travel.
I bet
because
that's so true.
It is.
It's kind of like the kids in noisemakers, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
if you get them used to a noisemaker and then you take it away,
Sound
it's
machine.
a problem. Sound machine. Yeah.
Yeah, a normal bed's gonna seem so hot now, right? Like whenever you can
Yeah,
travel
it
somewhere.
is.
It's hysterical.
It is,
but
but-
it also makes complete sense.
I'm a 67 degree guy. I mean, that sounds kind of warm, but like
67, so that's
perfect for me.
pretty chill.
Yeah.
All right, Weston, we joked about it before, but I brag about being 5th generation Greene County, Elsie being my 6th. But I knew going into this that my family lineage pales in comparison to yours. And then you alluded to it at the beginning of the show, so it was perfect. I'm just going to tee up this conversation. Your family's been around for a very long time, and you guys have been in the farming business for a very long time, in addition to what you do as a day job. I think, how many generations deep is the farm?
So people actually like participating and living on the farm where we live now.
Sure.
7 generations for my kids.
That's wild.
So that's a long time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I can trace back directly like maybe 8 or 9 generations in Springfield, but really some of our family can tie to John Polk Campbell, the founder of Springfield.
Yeah,
not
crazy.
directly in my. I'm not like his great grandson or whatever,
Sure.
but in our family.
That's wild.
Pretty wild.
So, can you talk to us about like raising your kids on the family farm and kind of that lineage and having so much of your family around? Talk a little bit about that, just because I know that's something that's important to you.
Yes, it was. I mean, so when I grew up in an area that had a lot of trees, creeks, ponds, snakes, frogs.
All of it.
I mean, you just get out there and you just enjoy nature, and you come back covered in mosquito bites, but you love it.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's fine.
That's part of it. So I really loved growing up outside, and I'd be wandering off when I was 4 or 5 years old, and Mom would yell when dinner was ready.
Yep.
And it's like, as long as you can yell and hear, like, come back. But
Yep.
you could do that back then. And what I love about where we are now, we built our house 3 years ago as the pandemic was starting. We built on the same land that I grew up on.
So cool.
So now
So cool.
my
Nice.
boys get to literally play and explore the exact same spots that I did growing up. And that's the family farm that's been in the family for the 7 generations. Really long time. So I grew up there. My father lived there partially. My grandparents had a house there, and then great grandparents as well,
Cool.
and beyond. So that's just in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So
cool.
just so awesome to be able to have that land, and it's still in Springfield, but they've got like 20, 30 acres that they can go play on and
Yeah.
get lost and get dirty, and it's a lot of fun.
That's
So have
cool.
you gotten to kind of start doing that stuff with them? Are you kind of
Yeah.
we floated this conversation a little
Yeah.
bit. Are you comfortable just sending them out into the woods yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But my rule is, as long as I can yell and you can hear me.
Okay, great. I love
Okay.
that, because we talked to another guy who
Yep.
lives in a gated community out east of town, and he was comfortable like with the kids. Just, I'm gonna go knock on doors. I'm gonna go see who's home, because there's like 5 or 6 kids in the neighborhood that
Yep.
are around their age, and I'm just gonna go knock on doors and see who's home. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
But you didn't have that. Yours was more like what Weston's talking
mine
about.
was very similar to like how you grew up. But yeah, I mean, I had a cousin that lived like basically right across the road from us, and so we'd go out, and we'd be gone 4 or 5 hours at a time, probably well outside of shouting distance from my parents.
Yeah, but you had to.
But thinking now, I'm like, man, I don't. And we were young, like you said, like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm like, Liam's almost 4 years old now, and I'm like, I don't think I would trust him doing that, And so it is crazy how times have changed, but
It is. It's crazy, and you've got to let some of that go. But it
You
helps
do.
having a
You do.
7-year-old with the 3-year-old. I
True.
would not let the 3-year-old go for as long without checking on him as I do the 7-year-old.
Sure.
So the 3-year-old, so we've got security cameras around our house and they pick up motion. So you can kind of see which way they went.
There you go. Dad hack.
Dad hack.
Get those cameras going.
Get the cameras. But sometimes you catch things you don't want to, like criminals crossing your property, and then you get subpoenaed 5 times, and they still don't have the court date set. So I've been subpoenaed 5 times because my camera caught a guy that broke into the school, walked across my property, stole the sheriff, Jim Arnott's car. The sheriff.
Holy crap.
Bad dude.
I was going to say, talk about bad and stupid.
Bad
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I'm like, okay, I'll be a good citizen. I'll help out the sheriff. I'll provide the video and like get this guy put away because he's a bad dude. And now I've been subpoenaed 5 times. You mark off the whole day, like, okay, I'm going to do my civic duty. Sure. The night before they call, this is canceled, and they get subpoenaed again. So just happened 2 weeks ago, or last week actually.
That's wild.
So tangent, but
no, that's fine. That's what we're here for. But are the boys like? Is it imagination time out there for them, or are they just looking for animals, or what's the go-to for them? Out
everything.
There right now?
I mean, they've got a playground, so they'll play pirates and whatever else, or they'll just explore. They'll go look for cool things. They'll look for frogs and bugs and turtles and pick flowers or look for cool things.
Cool.
It's a blast.
Have you like showed them any of the secret passageways or the secret spots that you hung
Weston
out whenever
spots
you were
from when he was
were
a
little?
kid?
Well, a little bit. So we've got like a side-by-side that we can drive around, and so I've got a path that
kids have it so easy these days.
They do. I've got a path that I keep mowed, and so literally this evening before I came over here, drove out on there. And,
cool.
Nice.
We drive through the creek, and last summer we'd go out there, and it's so hot outside. The boys just get in the creek and wade in, and we'd catch crawdads, and just so much fun.
Sweet.
You can't buy that. I mean.
No, that's
money can't buy that. Those
so
experiences.
I'm excited about where we live because not my lot, but across the street, I've got some really nice little old ladies and little old men that live across the street, and they back up to some woods. And so I'm going to go. When Elsie gets a little bit older, I'm going to start knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, if you see me and my daughter walking through your backyard, please don't do anything stupid. We're just going to go look in the trees."
Another more dad advice: just
don't mind us.
Find that property line and just go right down the middle, like the line. And if either one comes out, you're like, "No, I'm on the other person's side. It's
I got
fine."
permission from them.
One step over, yeah.
Don't shoot.
Just right on the line.
That's good.
Yeah, but I want that for Elsie. I wish that was an option, but we're not. I mean, we kind of live in a neighborhood-ish, but there's a relatively major street just right over there, and so I don't know that I will ever be comfortable with that. And maybe it's because I'm chicken shit, but I just don't know that what is kind of a farm road. I'm not sure. I mean, almost a little highway. I'm not sure I want to get my kid anywhere near that. And so we'll see.
I mean, she'll get to an age where she's advanced enough and developed enough to respect and to know not to cross the road.
Yeah.
And so it'll come, but
it's and
quite a few years.
And we've got a couple of friends like Peyton and Jamie Wilcox just live on the other side of the major street, and it's like, dang it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, well, I'll walk you there and I'll just toss you across the street and then walk home, I guess, because I don't want you crossing that by yourself.
Right. No, I still think that's so cool that, your kids are getting to experience the same thing you did growing up.
That's so much fun.
Yeah. But no, switching gears here a little bit. I know you guys travel quite a bit, and having 3 children, I'm sure you've learned a lot of tips and trips.
Yeah. This is good. I want to know this.
So, because we're getting ready to go on a big trip too with just our 2. And so, basically I'm seeking any advice that I can get from dads that have traveled with kids.
Absolutely. I mean, I could talk for an hour about all this. So
good.
But a few pointers really jump out. Number 1, snacks. We talked about them getting hangry.
Yep.
I mean, bring
kids are bad travelers.
3 times as many snacks as you think they'll need, because even if they're bored, like a snack will help. And so there's going to be downtime. We had a terrible experience going to Florida a couple of years ago, and flights delayed. The rental car line I stood in for an hour and a half, and the kids are just sitting there. Caitlin's taking care of them. Snacks, games. They did amazingly well in example, but snacks are totally key.
Okay.
Bring someone with you when you can. So grandparents, nanny if possible. Highly recommend that, just because if you want to do anything adultly
Yeah, sure.
on the trip
point,
at all, you need some help. But also it just helps calm the craziness a little bit to have someone else there. So we're going to Scottsdale in about a week and a half, and we're bringing a nanny with us. And so we'll actually celebrate our anniversary while we're there. So let the nanny watch the boys for a night and be able to have a date night while we're on vacation.
That's fun.
That is cool. Yeah. I mean, probably the best trip that we've had since we've had the boys, and this was only when we just had Liam, was, we went down to Florida, and my parents, we just happened to ask them, like, hey, you guys want to come with us? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. And just having
babysitters,
that extra set of hands, that extra set of eyes, I mean, that made a world of difference. And it was really like a vacation and not a trip, right?
So often you hear that.
Yeah.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what me and Allie joke. We're like, well, when you go on vacation with kids, it's called a trip.
That's right.
But when your kids aren't going, that's the vacation, right? But no, I mean, we truly able to enjoy it. And so that's, luckily my parents are actually going with us too this time around as well.
Good.
So,
Good. That'll be fun.
So it'll be awesome.
What about so you guys travel some with the kids, but you also travel some without them.
Yes.
Talk about, do you guys deal with any of the separation anxiety stuff at all on your side or with the kids' side? Because that's where Liv, and at least to some extent me too, we've got our first trip scheduled that's more than one night away from the kid.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that this summer, and we're both kind of shitting bricks about it because we're both just like, I don't really want to leave my kid. I really like her, and also it's my first one, and so I don't have any experience other than just this one, and so I am terrified.
Yeah,
she's gonna be great. She's staying with in-laws. It'll be great. But have you guys dealt with any of that?
Yeah. You're so excited to go on this trip. You don't have the kids. In that first dinner you have on your trip, all you do is talk about the kids.
Right?
Yes. Parenting is so amazing and so frustrating sometimes too.
All at the same time.
So it is by far the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life, and by far the most frustrating, crushing thing I've ever done in my life too.
It's
all
also
at the same
just
time.
kind of fun to bitch about. Hence why we've got a podcast.
That's right.
That's a great point.
That's right. So yes, you will miss your children, but you'll appreciate that time away. And absence makes the heart grow fonder. So you come back and my goodness, you're just refreshed, hopefully, and come back and it makes that much better. So
that's great. So speaking of sharing with kids, whether it's travel or whatever, I know that you're a man of some hobbies, and we've kind of alluded to it earlier, wanting to get into the mountain biking or any of that stuff. Are there any other hobbies that you guys are interested in getting the kids into? Maybe it's one of yours, one of Caitlin's, anything that stand out to you?
Well, funny story. I already told the Bentonville story about the biking. So literally the week before, we booked a ski trip to Whistler, Canada, a legit awesome ski trip.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For between Christmas and New Year's, this coming Christmas and New Year's.
Great.
And I'm like, hey, I want the boys to be able to ski. I love skiing. I didn't go skiing for the first time till I was in second grade, and now I have not been since we've had kids. And finally, the older two are old enough for ski school. The middle one, he's potty trained, so he can go to ski school. Now is the time. Yeah. We want to get him to learn how to ski. This is going to be awesome, right?
Sled for Arlo. It'll be great.
Right. Yeah, no, Arlo's staying home with the grandparents. We already had that figured out. Sorry, Arlo, he won't remember. But so we're so excited, get these kids up and skiing. We're going to spend all this time on the mountain. It's going to be so much fun. And then guess what? Bentonville happened. And I said, you know what? We're going to get them there. They're going to be cold. They're going to whine. They're going to have to pee.
Yeah.
They're going to be hangry. So I think I'm going to change our trip. We've got some friends going to Sicily, Italy instead at the Four Seasons.
Sweet.
That sounds a lot better right now. Maybe we can wait till the kids are 10 or 12 to ski. Sure. Absolutely. For our boy, I love that we have 3 boys because I can't wait till we can ski on the lake, tube on the lake, ride jet skis, go snow skiing, whitewater rafting. These are all things
outdoor
that
stuff.
I love to do.
Yeah.
and haven't done much of them since we've had kids.
True.
Let's
Right.
face
True.
it. Again, BC versus
Right.
Yeah,
AD or whatever. So really excited to do that. But literally, we got back from Bentonville on Monday night. I told Caitlin, yeah, I think we're going to need to cancel that ski trip.
Right?
We might be changing plans.
Oh, dude.
That is a big commitment and a big expensive trip for them to just not have fun.
Sure.
And nobody gets to ski.
Right?
I get it. Did you do any of the scout stuff when you were a kid? Scouting, Boy Scouts?
I was
Cub
a Boy Scout for one meeting.
Were
but
you
I
really?
I was a Cub Scout all the way through.
Okay,
yeah.
I just wondered because that's something that I know that they're now doing like Scouts of America as opposed to Boy Scouts, and it's kind of a co-ed deal now. But I'm not sure if Elsie will want to do that or Girl Scouts or whatever. But that was such a huge thing in my childhood, going all the way through that. I wondered if that was something that you had done. Again, with having 3 boys, that might be an opportunity. Did you do any of that stuff?
No. Yeah, I didn't, and yeah, just because like it really didn't have a big presence where I grew up.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
you
probably
know,
true.
and so I mean,
There was
honestly,
like 3 people at your high school.
Yeah,
Where'd you
right.
grow up?
Yeah, north of Bolivar,
Okay.
Humansville.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember
Big pot growing up there now.
there is
right?
now. Yeah, Flora Farms, man. It's
it's a big
deal.
operation
It is.
out
It
there,
really
sure.
is.
They added a substation for the electricity for that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But yeah, so I didn't really do any of that. Just did camping around the farm whenever I was little. So
Well, and
kinda
I think
figured it
that's
out on my own.
probably because I grew up in Springfield proper. Scouts was our excuse to go do the camping
That's a good
stuff,
point. Yeah.
as opposed to living on the farm or living on the farm and
Yeah.
camping. My version of camping until I joined the Scouts was my dad would set up a tent in the backyard,
Yep.
Yeah.
and we lived in that neighborhood that backed up to some woods, and so I would go play in the woods, kind of like you're talking about, but it was not camping until I did Boy Scouts, and that became like a huge part of my childhood. So I was just curious.
I'm really excited about glamping these days. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Oh, right?
I
Like,
don't
that's
hate
such
it.
a great
Don't hate it.
concept.
you can be as outdoorsy as you want,
Right?
build a fire, feel
Yeah.
really manly, and then take a shower and go
Right,
sleep in
right.
a bed.
Air conditioned tent.
Well, it's like, and too with kids, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
kids aren't going to want to like rough it and actually
not at
like
all.
legit camp, but glamping, like you could probably get them into that, and it won't be so bad.
Well, and we're probably in the world's best glamping area,
Oh, right.
unintentionally ever in Southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Because-
Johnny Morris.
Thanks, Johnny Morris.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything looks like you're camping, but you're definitely not. It looks like a log cabin, but it sure as
The
hell is
pictures, the pictures look legit, right?
right, for real. For
Yeah,
real.
I'm an outdoorsman, and then I'm
Ish.
going to go get in my giant, like you said, steam shower and all that junk. So
I have a buddy that likes to camp in winter. I went with him one time.
madman.
It got down to like 18 degrees. That's cold.
Oh.
Like you cover your face up
Sure,
with the
yeah.
sleeping bag when it's 18 degrees and hope you wake up.
I was gonna say, dude, yeah.
I
wake
did
up?
that. I did that one time. I was 13, 14 years old, and we did Longs Peak in Colorado.
Oh.
And it was one of those deals where it was like late spring, early summer, but it was in Colorado, and it was up in
Cold,
the air.
yeah.
Obviously, it was freaking cold. But it was also one of those deals where we started out literally at the trailhead and hiked up to a base camp, and got up the next morning at 3:00 in the morning to start the hike to then summit Longs Peak. But it was freaking, like you're talking about, it was 18 degrees, 25 degrees outside, and I'm like packing in, and 13 years old, so I wasn't covered in fur like I am now. I
built-in
was going to
insulation,
say,
yeah.
like, I could probably actually just sleep with this part of my face out and be totally
That's
fine.
right. You'd be fine.
Be pretty comfortable.
Actually,
honestly.
hey, it's kind of warm. But yeah, I at 13 was not equipped for that and did not enjoy myself at all.
Yeah. Gosh. Dude. I did.
So you've also gotten involved around the community a lot, just because you guys have been here. Have you guys started having those conversations with your kids? Anything like that? Getting them involved, getting them out doing stuff around town? Are you guys doing any of that
Yeah,
stuff with them?
we're trying to teach our kids to be selfless and to think of others. So, like when they have a birthday, instead of everybody bringing presents, we'll say like for the baby or for the 1-year-old birthday or whatever, like bring diapers for the diaper bank that we have in the Ozarks.
Oh, cool.
Like bring
Awesome.
things for other people.
Like
and
that.
it's really cool to see in our oldest especially, because he's done it several times, how he loves that. He thrives off of it, and he just legitimately is thinking about other people, and it's so cool to see that he wants to give, and he really sees the value in that. Now, he's spoiled rotten and has way too much stuff, and we need to get rid of 90% of the toys in our house. But at least he's getting a taste of what it's like to give to others and to care about others.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Every dad we have on the show has pretty much said that. We got way too many toys. We got to get rid of half of these freaking things.
but I like that. That's an easy way to get them involved in the community and teach them something great too.
Because let's face it, they have a birthday party, have 15 kids over. You don't need 15 Lego sets.
No.
Like,
Grandma and Grandpa are going to get them enough for birthday and Christmas.
Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt, and Uncles, like plenty of toys already. Like
for sure.
Legit, yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of kids, another thing that we always like to ask everybody is, tell us your funny stories about your kids.
Yeah.
And I know you listed several on here. And one I'm interested to hear about is from your 3-year-old Crawford. In quotations here, I love alcohol. So please tell us a little bit more about that story.
Yeah, and you guys know nothing other than that.
No, just that quote. That's all we know.
That's why we love our little questionnaires. Like, don't tell us the whole story. Give us a clip so we can set it up.
Yeah, hilarious. I mean, we had the whole house rolling in laughter. So Christmas this past year, at the time he was only 2.
Yeah.
And, our 7-year-old, we wanted him to be gluten-free. He didn't have any dairy.
Yeah.
And so we kind of restricted his diet, and he became super picky to where he won't even eat ice cream right now. I just, within the last 2 weeks, got him eating pizza.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. He loves hamburgers and sushi, so he's not...
It's weird picky.
Right.
Yes.
It's not white rice and spaghetti or what is it?
Chicken fingers.
Yeah.
No. He likes some adventurous things, but some others he doesn't. So he only drinks water. I finally got him drinking a little bit of apple juice.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're trying to get him these things now because we didn't want him to have too much sugar growing up. Again, first kid problem.
Absolutely. Yep.
And now he won't drink anything but water. So my older kid wouldn't do this. The 3-year-old, whatever daddy's drinking, he wants. So, we started a thing that really took hold, and daddy's drink is spicy.
Yeah, sure.
You won't like it. It's spicy. And so he started to say, well, I like spicy.
Oh, no.
And we're like, well, no. So we're at Christmas, and wine was being served at Christmas, and I have my wine, and he was almost throwing a tantrum that he wanted some. And I tried the spicy thing, and I like spicy. So I'm like, well, buddy, it has alcohol in it. And the conversation, we had 15 people over. The conversation kind of died down, and he just says, "I love alcohol." Of course, the in-laws are there, and I'm like,
"It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke."
You don't know what alcohol is, buddy, but I'm glad you love it. Right. And everyone just starts laughing. My family's both sides totally understanding. But absolutely hilarious in the context of just the 2 almost 3-year-old yelling, "I love alcohol."
Oh, yeah,
right?
100%.
Oh, man, we got somewhat similar story. So my wife, she kind of liked to cuss a little bit before we had kids. So she's trying to find different phrases, different words to use to replace those words, right? And so now, when she gets frustrated with the boys or just frustrated in general, she'll jokingly say, she's like, "I need a margarita." Right? That's just what she says, right? I mean,
I don't know where this is going.
Right? And so Liam, he's picked up on that. So she'll say that, and then Liam will be like, "I need a margarita." And it's it's funny, but he's repeating mom, right? And so
the kid's got a lot of stress in his life, all right? He just needs one margarita. Get that kid a drink.
The other day, my parents, same thing. My parents were up, family was up, and we were all hanging out, and he has these magnet tiles, and he likes to build stuff out of them, and he's building, and it fell down, it crashed down. And he's just slams his hands down on the table. "I need a margarita." Wait, what?
That's hilarious.
And so my parents are like, "What are you getting this kid?" Right? I mean, similar to probably what your family members are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you there. The awkwardness that you feel like you're being judged by the
well, on the
family.
other side of that coin, when you guys were kids and you might go on a vacation with your family or something, and maybe it was somewhere tropical, did you ever do the virgin strawberry daiquiri or
Oh,
like
yeah.
the virgin pina colada thing.
Oh yeah.
I thought that I was the coolest kid in the world because I was an 8-year-old. Can I get a virgin pina colada, please?
Absolutely.
Didn't quite pull the trigger on like I like alcohol or margaritas yet, but I wanted that virgin daiquiri.
Yeah. No, I was. My dad, he chewed when I was younger, and so he would always spit in the cans after he drank them.
I had this
Mine
exact thought when he started telling this story.
Yeah. And so I remember one time when I was little, I had a Dr. Pepper. My dad had a beer, and I wasn't paying attention to which one I grabbed. Took a big swig of it, and it wasn't beer or Dr. Pepper.
Did you swallow it?
I did. I probably did. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember that part, but I just remember I'm like, I don't know what Dad's drinking, but that is disgusting. Like I'm never
beer.
touching
It's beer.
that.
Don't ever drink beer.
Right? Yeah, and I don't think my dad told me until several years later. Like, Dad, that was my spit. You drink, It's like, ugh.
Things that make you go
Right. Yeah, looking back as an adult, you're like,
Absolutely
that's
terrible.
disgusting.
Absolutely terrible. So you mentioned traveling.
Yes.
When you guys went on road trips,
Mm-hmm.
tell me what your family did when you needed to make a pit stop. Did they stop and let you go to the bathroom? Because
I come from an all-boy family, and we had a 2-liter that Dad tossed in the back seat to the two of
really?
us. Yeah, we had a 2-liter that got not passed around necessarily, but if it was like an emergency, because you know how it is with little kids, they're like, "Yeah, I don't need to pee," and then 20 minutes later, "I need to pee." So
Right.
Dad would just toss a 2-liter at us in the back seat, and
Yeah.
we had the
definitely
Folgers coffee can, and I was a boy, and I had a sister. And
yeah.
guess what? If we were going to Oklahoma, it was 3 hours. We are not stopping.
Yep. Typical
that's
dad, right?
hysterical.
Typical dad. Typical dad. So we had the Folgers coffee can.
Folgers coffee can.
In the full-blown conversion van, like not these minivans they have now,
right.
but like the ladder up the back, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Shag carpet on the ceiling kind of deal. Oh, I know how those go.
No.
Also, I don't know what it says about me peeing into a 2-liter and you peeing into a Folgers can, but we'll just leave that where it is.
To each their own. Weston, I mentioned earlier that you had several here. So what's another good story you got for us?
Oh, gosh. This one was pretty traumatic for my wife, but I thought it was kind of funny.
That's generally how that goes.
Yeah, right?
This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Yeah.
If Dad thinks it's funny and Mom doesn't, it's probably pretty funny.
So if you think about the nicest country club meets the nicest resort, you would think of Sea Island, Georgia.
Okay. Yeah.
So Southern charm, like
Buttoned up.
there is a dress code for children
Yeah, baby.
at
Now
this
we're talking.
resort.
Wow.
Like fancy Southern
Yeah.
country club
Yeah.
place. So we had the great opportunity to go to Sea Island, Georgia back before the pandemic, and Topher was our only child at the time. He was probably 3 or something. So we're going to dinner, fancy dinner. He's got to have his collared shirt on.
Yep.
He may have even had a little blazer. I'm not sure.
Sweet.
Like
I love that.
Dang.
ridiculous for a 3-year-old.
that is.
But nonetheless, we're in the lobby looking around. Everything's so beautiful. It's full of people. And we look over. Again, my parents came.
Perfect.
Bring the parents.
Yep.
We look
Dad
over.
hack.
I don't know if he didn't have enough attention or what, but he just dropped his pants.
Oh.
Right in the middle of the cloister at Sea Island, Georgia, the fanciest country club resort in the country.
Take that, country club.
And my wife
Let me humble you.
freaks out. She freaks out. So embarrassed, so stressed about the moment, wondering who saw it. And everything.
yeah.
Of course, gets onto him and pull his pants up as fast as we could, shame him, of course. A few minutes later, he does it again. And I'm thinking, all these people in here are probably either parents or aunts and uncles. I mean,
Sure.
they understand a kid dropping their pants.
They've
But
been
at the
there,
same time, they make the kid wear a blazer and a collared shirt to dinner. So maybe we are going to get kicked out. But this is pretty funny.
I could just see how pissed Caitlin is.
Oh, turning beet red.
Right,
Just
right.
so embarrassed
Yep.
that this proper place and her child drops his pants.
Country done come to town.
It was like the only time he's ever done it.
Really?
And he did it twice.
And he wasn't like trying to like go to the bathroom or anything or like go pee in a tree.
he was just trying to
He was
shriek.
just dropping trout.
I think he just wanted attention or something. And I don't know how he
That's
thought.
funny. I thought he was trying to pee.
Hysterical.
Nope.
Oh, that's even better.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, that's great.
Now, my 3-year-old, we were in a park a few weeks ago. Lots of kids playing around. He just whips it out and
Gotta
starts
go.
peeing in the middle of the
Gotta
park.
go.
Tell you what, man.
I'm like, that a boy.
Well, and at the end of the day, all the parents are like, well, I've seen that happen before.
Right.
My kid does the same thing. So
Right.
Caitlin was not there. It may have been a different result.
Oh,
but,
man.
yeah, he just whipped it out in the middle of the park. And those kids, I don't know about you guys, but their stream,
Oh,
they shoot
thing.
like 10 feet.
It's
kid's
impressive.
powerful. He's
It is
powerful.
impressive.
Like, yeah. That's the best part about having boys is just seeing your wife's reaction. Especially, like, I'm sure Caitlin's very much like Allie and, like, always thought she's going to be a girl mom, very much girly girl and stuff.
Yes.
But then just seeing their reaction to boys just being boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Preach.
Because, yeah, Liam, we taught him to pee in the yard, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he was peeing in the yard the other day. It was funny. He was talking about the stream because he's peeing out there, and Allie's like, dang, do you see how far that's going? Is that the sprinkler or is that our child?
I mean, it's like a garden hose. Whenever you put your thumb over it, a smaller hole is a further stream, bigger stream. But so, Bryant, you were saying that your daughter came in when you were going to the bathroom the other day. Well, when
Yeah.
you've got boys, they just come in and join you.
Oh.
yeah. Then
So-
you're fighting streams or whatever.
Literally 3 days ago, I'm in there going, close the door, don't
Yeah.
lock it. That was rookie mistake.
Yeah, rule number 1.
Right.
If you're going number 2, you always lock
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But number 1, going in there, both boys come running in, and they just drop trout, and they start going. I look around, and I'm not even mad. I'm just like,
this is my life.
this is dudes hanging out, and someday we're going to be having a beer laughing about
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
just
absolutely.
together.
Just dudes being
Absolutely.
dudes. Dudes being dudes. I love that.
Dude, that's funny.
Well, I think we've got to go into. Those are some good stories, man. Are there any other stories that you want to talk about, or do you want to go talk about some dad jokes?
Yeah, let's do dad jokes.
I
That's
love
no
it.
big deal.
Okay, so it's everybody's favorite part of the episode.
What time's that?
Dad joke of the week. All right, it's
it
time
is
for
that
some
time.
dad jokes. All right, let's make our guest go.
Oh.
Weston, what kind of dad joke did you bring today? Anything that you have in your repertoire?
Well, I'm always coming up with dad jokes but the one that I'm going to share today actually Topher told me, and I actually
like this.
guessed the punchline.
Even
So that's
better.
why I'm sharing it. I'm like, yes, I got it.
I got my dad chops.
So I'll see if you guys can get it. But
Sure.
what
Okay.
did the gorilla wear in the kitchen?
oh no, banana hammock. Nope, that's not it.
Close. You know, I could see how that would work.
Sorry,
I could see
Sorry,
that.
please continue.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Apron.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Dang it! I was like, it has to do something with an apron, but it did not
Banana
click
hammock
for
was
me.
Because
not
gorillas
Dang
are
it.
apes. They are not monkeys, as my 7-year-old would tell you. He is like a freaking walking dictionary.
Oh yeah.
It is nuts. He had his birthday party at the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
All of his friends come over to the birthday party at the zoo, and they're like asking questions. He's answering all of them and adding to the answers, and they're all like,
What is this? This
Who's
little
this child?
walking encyclopedia over here.
"It
I
is
love
nuts.
that.
It
That's
is nuts."
great.
I mean, Wild Kratts is his favorite show, and that's what they were for Halloween. I mean,
Okay.
they freaking love animals.
That's
and
awesome.
All that. So that's cool.
Did I tell you guys that I'm getting Liv a new car?
No,
Or I actually got Liv a new car, not getting. we
Oh,
actually got Liv a
good
new
for
car.
you.
nice.
About time you treat her.
But I messed up. When I got it, I didn't realize that it didn't have a reverse gear in it, which
Brr?
it seems like something it should probably have in a car. I mean, I guess we're stuck with it because, I mean, there's no going back now.
but I'll ping.
No going.
No going back.
Get it. Get it.
It's as close as we're going to get to a dad joke, boys. All right.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
That was
all
pretty
right.
good. I
What
like
you got,
that.
DC?
I like that one. Well, yeah, no. I mean, Weston was talking about animals, so I was like, made me think of my joke.
Perfect.
Here, you know, what do you guys call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Oh, you got two of them. Nice.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
That is.
Pretty sure my
Nice work,
7-year-old
dude.
told me that one a couple
Oh,
years ago
dude.
too.
Yep, I love that joke.
Ground beef.
That's pretty solid. Nice work, man. Well, Weston's the dad joke whisperer
Right,
over here.
right.
He's
I
got
know,
them all
I'm
like
like-
back in his head.
Yeah, before every episode, I'm gonna text Wes and be like, "Hey, what's
Hey,
a good
what's a good
joke
dad
you got
joke?
here?"
So
got a few more years of dadding than both of you guys.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, that's true. It's
fair.
we're all about leaning on the guys that have got more experience than we do. So that's why we wanted to build this community of dads, so we can all just go call each other and say, "Hey, what's a good dad joke?"
Right.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the community, we kind of try to keep an eye on how many people we have watching on YouTube and how we have watching on Spotify. We just crossed, at time of recording, 1,400 subscribers on YouTube. So pretty cool. We're pretty excited about that. We appreciate it. We appreciate you watching, and thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, giving us your dad jokes, commenting. Some of the comments are nicer than others, but some of them are hilarious. So we'll let those slide too. So give us your dad jokes, please. You viewer, you decent dad out there, we need you. Hook us up and let us know what you got. So I do have to say, way to go, decent dad.
Yeah.
Nice work, man.
There you go,
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. There you go, buddy.
Nice work. So unless anybody else has anything else,
I got nothing.
perfect.
I'm just wondering what decent. I looked up decent. Decent dad.
It's probably just okay.
In my mind, there's like decent, which is like, not terrible, but decent.
Yeah.
Or there's decent man, like an upstanding citizen. And I don't know
That's a
which one you
definition
guys
we
thought
missed.
I would fall in.
That's a
But
definition we missed.
Well, we did have a guest that, I think he described our tagline, or the name of our show perfectly. He said, "Decent dads, keeping the bar within reach."
that's exactly right.
We're using that from here on out.
Yes, we are.
Exactly right.
So, I guess that we'll just end it with that. Decent dads keeping the bar within reach. So, I guess we'll bring this thing to a close. Thanks very much, boys. We'll see you next time. So I want to try to lose 26 pounds.
There you go.
Is the deal. So
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
What do you got, 17? Is that right?
Yeah.
My math's
So-
right? Yeah.
got about a month
Man,
to
you're close.
stop drinking beer, basically.
Can't turn
It's
back
go
now.
time.
Ready
Can't
or
turn back now.
So I don't know what it says about me peeing into a 2-liter and you peeing into a Folgers can, but we'll just leave that where it is.
To each their own. To each their own.
That's a dick joke.
Oh, is that where he's going with that?